Another tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to create a simple application called water application, and this app actually helps people to regularly drink at least 2.5 liters of water, or 2500 milliliters of water per day, and stay hydrated. Okay, so this will be done running a background task, and also we will use the knowledge of communicating with the background service to update uh, um, the balance, I mean the update the amount of water in response to the user interaction, right? Update the water drank, okay, in response to your user interaction. So okay, let's not waste the time, and let's go right to the implementation of this activity, this application. So what we need to do is I have created a simple subfolder called water, where I will be creating a simple empty activity, which we will call it a water activity, and I will make it a launcher activity. And yes, let me go to the manifest and make it water activity. So obviously this is gonna be a launcher, and obviously I have to remove other launcher activity. And yes, let me import the necessary imports. Let me do import all the necessary classes. Okay, so what next? Okay, so let's see our guideline. Our guideline is our readme file. So we create the water activity. Okay, so then we add the foreground service and post notification permission to our Android manifest file. So actually, if you go in the manifest, I have already given all the necessary services, which is foreground service and also post notification. This user permissions, no, permissions to our foreground service. So we have to add a foreground service and post notification permission to our Android manifest file that we have done. So now we need to create a new service. Okay, so let's create this new service, which will be calling it a water tracking service, and which will pretty much implement service class. Okay, and obviously we have to bind and return null for the moment. Okay, so we have to create service. All right, so now we have to, let's see our readme file. We define a variable in your service to track the water level. So let's define the variable in our service class to track the water level. So how can we track our yeah, we're gonna create now some variables like fluid balance milliliters. Yeah, so let's make the initial fluid balance to be giraffe, and let me create some necessary also companion object, some constants here. So some constants that I'm going to create is extra intake amount in millis, that's a milliliter, that's a intake. Then private const value notification id is let's make 1a 1a 2a 2a. Okay, and what next is so we have these constants, right? So now slowly we have to go and start implementing the service. but also let's track define constants for notification id and extra intent data key. Okay, so we have also defined the constants for notification id and extra intent data key. Yeah, here extra intent and notification id. Okay, so and what next is we have to set up the creation of a notification from a the service. So we have to set up the creation of notification from the service. So let's do that notification setup. Okay, private function create a notification channel. We set up the creation of notification. Here it's pretty much returns the string. The channel id will be fluid fluid bel fluid balance tracking channel name fluid lens tracking channel notification channel channel id channel name notification manager. It's the default importance, and we have to add the service. There is a error, so we'll solve that in a moment. System service context notification service as a notification manager. Service create a notification channel and we return the channel id. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to add the required permissions, but the permissions no, it is the requires API. So to create this notification channel we need to have this actually the notification channel is obligation to create a notification channel only if you have a version O, right, the Oreo versions, right? So otherwise you don't need to create a notification channel. So so for that we are okay, so we have to also let's see what's written here. Set up the creation notification from the service. Notification from the service. So actually we also have to create the notification builder. Okay, so let's create the notification builder. Function get a notification builder pending intent channel id compact builder content title tracking your fluid balance, and we have to make it set content text is tracking set small icon .ic. Okay, actually we need to also create some small icon, so let's create the icon of water, a vector asset of water. Yes, water. Let me create first the water. Okay, so we are gonna use this water. drawable, then obviously set small icon, set content intent. Also we need the pending intent, right? So we have to also create a set ongoing is true. Okay, so another interesting thing we have to do is also create some functions which gets the pending intent. So private function get pending intent, which pretty much returns the pending intent, and flag equals to if build dot person dot stk int is greater than or equals to build dot person course dot s pending intent dot flag immutable, else we have a the flag is returns 0, right? So that's it, and the pending intent we get the activity. This we pass the flag like a request code to be 0 and intent does mean. So we are gonna use this water activity and pass the flag, right? So this pretty much gets the pending intent. So whenever you click the notification, you're gonna use this pending intent to navigate to that activity, right? So we have a file like a functions to create notification channel, get notification builder, get pending intent. Okay, so so what next is, let's go and check our add functions to request the notification permission if required, start the foreground service and update the water level. Okay, so now we need to add functions to request notification permissions. We need to request notification permissions, right? So yeah, obviously we need to write, okay, let's go the permissions we will be asking from the activity. So let's write the necessary notification permissions. Request permission launcher activity result launcher so okay, what we have to do is we have to ask for user consent or permission here. So let me create a private function with ensure permission granted. We ensure permission is granted and launch the tracking, right? So we'll be doing this. So if build dot version let me import the necessary classes, and the build dot version course is tiramisu is less than tiramisu, then we have to launch the tracking service. So let me create a private function which launches the tracking service, right? Launch tracking service, return, and otherwise we request permission launcher is register for activity result contacts dot request permission is granted. If your permission is granted, then obviously you launch your tracking service, otherwise you have to show the permission, right? So we have to So let's create a function which shows the permission rationale. Private function show permission rationale. Okay, this show permission rationale will be pretty much showing the personal, right, your permission, right? So it's a positive action, and is a unit, and so here is we have a alert dialog builder, this title, notification, permission, message to show our current fluid balance. We need the notifications permission, right? Otherwise we cannot show the notification beside the permission. So set positive button, we set the positive button to android r.string.ok, and positive action, and to pass the positive action, set negative button android.r.string.clear cancel. Okay, and we have a dialog. We dismiss the dialog, then we create, and we have to show this permission rationale dialog, right? So alert dialog, so permission rationale, and here what we have to do is pretty much request permission launcher launches the post notifications, right? So this is what we have to do. And what else, like we also have to actually, this is just a request permission launcher, but there is, when you have relaunch your application, you have to always check, each time you have to check if the permission is granted or not, right? So we have to check self permission on the first go. Post notifications as manager, permission granted. Okay, it's a launch tracking service, should show request permission rationale, post notification, show permission rationale, and request permission launcher launch your post notifications, right? Otherwise if you should show the request permission rationale, then you show the permission rationale. Otherwise you just do this, just launch the notification, launch your permission request, right? So this is it, and so this will be actually called from here. When you create, on create, in this callback we are gonna just ensure that the permission is granted, and then launch our tracking service, right? So this launching our tracking service, what is gonna do, we create the service intent this water tracking service class apply, and it's gonna put some extra 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 intake amount milliliters, then in actually we also need to pass the intake amount float intake amount. What was the extras that I extra intake amount millis? Okay, actually it was millis. Okay, let me import this constants, and then context compact, we have to start the foreground service, this service intent. Okay, so this launch tracking service is gonna pretty much launch this tracking service, right? But we have to also actually declare this service in our manifest. So let's go and declare this manifest service in our manifest. Service is water tracking service, and we have to do two important things here. One is like we have to enable this service so that the service can be instantiated and exported to also true, so that also other who are interested to use this service can use it also beyond your application, and also outside the application. So your service is pretty exported also outside their application, so it can be used outside also from the another application. Okay, so okay, we have declared our service. Let me just check my overview how we can do. So we add a function to request the notification permission, then start foreground service and update the water label. So we have to start the foreground service and update the water label. So let's see about how to update the water label. Okay, let me see. Yeah, but before that, actually we know, let me just go and check out my UI. Okay, so our UI will be pretty much having it will be pretty simple. It will be containing, okay, let me just water tracking activity activity water. It's gonna be like this one. So it has a drank a glass of water, so you just click this drank a glass of water string. Okay, let me extract the string, and then it is gonna update the service, right? This okay, so let me just create the view, no, not here, but in the activity we're gonna create the button water button view here, and by lazy, and find view by id, and then water button, right? Okay, so we have the water button. Okay, so this water button, when you press the water button, it's gonna pretty much set on click listener. It's gonna launch your tracking service, right? And so each time you have to, you take a intake the, so if you just drink a glass of water, means you are gonna update your water level by 250 ml. So you drank a glass of water. Actually, as you can see here in the readme, like your the overview, we have to actually drink up to 200 2.5 milliliter liters, that is 2500 milliliters. So this time a glass of water we will make 250 ml. So and we have to update this balance of your water level that you have drink. So we're gonna do that. with this, so each time you click, you launch your tracking service, and you update your intake amount, the balance. And uh, so once you drink, you have to water button dot is enabled is false. So for certain moment it is the water, so you don't drink the water right immediately, like all the water at once. So you just do it with a certain time limit. So when you launch tracking service, obviously you gonna is enabled is true. And okay, so this part is okay. So what we have to do is we have to we also need some yeah, a check to, yeah, we have a fluid balance milliliters, which pretty much has the balance of water that we have drank. And let me see what it's here. So set the water level to decrease by 0.144 milliliter every 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds we have to decrease by 0.144 milli. Every 5 seconds we have to decrease by 0.144 milliliter. So so that once it is finished, then we have to enable the button again. So update fluid flow. So we have to create a function which updates the fluid balance. Okay, private function update fluid balance. So this will update service. So we need our service handler, right? So we need our but not only that, we also need our notification manager to notify it. So let's create everything. Private notification manager by lazy to handle the notification, get system service. We pass notification service as a notification manager. Okay, we have private late inval notification builder, notification compact builder, late inval service handler. We have to also create this service handler, right? As I was telling you, to update we need the handler to update our balance. So and run our thread there, right? Background task. So notification builder, no, we don't do the notification, we update the fluid here, but we also have to actually instantiate those variables on create. So notification builder will start foreground service. Okay, and we have this handler thread. Okay, this handler thread is of a fluid handler tracking handler thread. Okay, which starts, and we have a service handler which is takes the looper and update the fluid balance. So update the fluid balance, what it's gonna do is it's gonna pretty much use the service handler to post that your update fluid balance, and you add to Okay, so we also need to add to our fluid balance. So let me create some private function which add to fluid balance amount milliliters float. So this is synchronized to fluid balance milliliters. Then we add the amount in milliliters. So we add the fluid balance is minus 0.144 float 144, right guys? So notification, what here it has seen is 144 milliliter every 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds you decrease by 144 milliliter. And notification builder, and then we set content text, say your fluid balance to F format to fluid balance milliliter. Your fluid balance is this fluid balance milliliter, you know, so it's gonna format to this floating number, and then set silent false true, so you have a silent notification there. And notification manager, you notify with the notification ID as an builder dot build every 5 seconds, right? Okay, so yeah, so every 5 seconds you reduce your fluid balance by 0.144 milliliter. And start background service. Okay, so here actually you also need the I don't know why it's asking me star calls mean is okay, let me write start foreground service. Service why is that foreground service? Okay, because we have to actually service that we have to create our own okay, so actually we have to create our own private start. Okay, let me create my start foreground service which will pretty much return the notification build notification build compact.builder, right? And just a pending intent, get pending intent, then we have a channel ID. So if your build dot version is sticky is greater than O, then you need a notification channel, otherwise you don't need the notification channel, right? So that's what we're going to do here. O, it's not O, right? It's O, this O, create notification channel, otherwise you just return this one, right? And notification builder notification builder, get a notification builder, pending intent, channel ID, and start foreground. Then here we pass the notification ID, notification builder dot build, return notification builder. So here we start foreground service, which is pretty much returning on our notification builder. Okay, and okay, what else we have to do is okay, handle the addition of fluids from outside the service. Make sure the service cleans up the callback and messages when destroyed, right? So we have to also update the fluid. Make sure the services cleans up callback and messages when destroyed. Services cleans up callbacks and messages when destroyed. Okay, so let's go and add that to our service actually. And what we're gonna do is on destroy, with service handler, we remove callbacks and messages, passing the empty null token, and make sure the service cleans up. Okay, so this is done. So register the service in the manifest file. So we have already registered our manifest in the service on a manifest file. And what else, like start the service from your activity when the activity is created. So we have started the service when activity is created, launch tracking service. And then what else, create after the notification permission is granted if needed, and add a button to make activity layout with a drink of glass of water level. We have done that, and when the user clicks the button, notify the service that it needs to increment the water level by 250 milliliter, right? When the activity, yeah, so let's check out once more, so to see if we have anything missing. I don't think so we have anything missing, because I think we are pretty much okay with what we have to do. And okay, so we have yeah, we can pretty much run and check out if everything is perfectly fine. So let me run and see if it is okay. So yeah, it's pretty much installing. So yeah, we have a glass of water. Okay, we have a notification here, as you can see here, tracking your fluid balance. Your fluid balance is 72 yeah, you see it's just checking my fluid balance, and it's getting us the notification. Okay, I think we are pretty much okay with what we have to do. Okay, let me check some final thing in my service. Your fluid balance is 2 point yeah, here we have it is pretty much decrementing by 0.144 milliliter, right? Okay guys, so we have this simple and actually you cannot cancel this uh, because you are still ongoing, you know, you're, so you can have more, and it's pretty much tracking your fluid balance, right? So it's time that you have just consumed this 4.3 your this balance, like you have just reduced your fluid balance by 4.61, right? Each time. So in this way, you know, when you arrive for certain like minus 250 ml, then you have to drink another glass of water. So this is how it works, right? Yeah, so guys, this is pretty working fine, and hope you like this application, and catch you up in the next lecture guys. Thank you.